Last time, we saw the two universes finally merge together in another way. We now have characters that aren't supposed to be there, who are now actually there in the story, making for a much different plot so far. But how will the Saiyan saga end and what's going to change going forward? We'll be seeing all that and more in this part 3 of What If Universe 6 and 7 were one. Goku and Cabba stand together, both ready to defeat Vegeta. Goku has some tricks up his sleeve thanks to King Kai, which is also what he just used to help here. It's the Kaioken. He has to use it sparingly, but thankfully he shouldn't need to use it too much. Vegeta's not going to transform into a great ape. His tail's gone. He's maxed out at his regular base power, and the rest of Goku's team is still alive. Individually, he's at a big advantage, but he's not fighting individually. Vegeta is actually significantly disadvantaged here now. Everything's working against him, but he's not going to retreat here. He's not going to quit, and now he finally gets to fight Kakarot like he wanted. He does want to fight Goku alone, so Goku does oblige. Cabba says they should work together, but Goku thinks he has this. Personally, he does want to fight Vegeta alone, and with help from Kaioken, he should be able to actually win here. Worst case, Cabba can't help. He doesn't want to get too confident, but he thinks victory is assured already, which is exactly why he wants to take this opportunity and fight Vegeta one-on-one. The low-class warrior faces the prince. Goku's disadvantaged at first, but once he shows off his full power and goes into Kaioken times 2, he starts closing the gap, and using Kaioken times 3 actually does help a lot, even though that's very strenuous. In short bursts, he's able to overpower Vegeta, but otherwise Vegeta overpowers him, and Goku gets to enjoy his time fighting. Vegeta definitely is just as strong as he thought he'd be. He really is an amazing opponent, which is exactly why he wants Vegeta to leave. They don't need to fight anymore. Vegeta doesn't need to be here. But of course Vegeta's not going to have it that way. He's not just going to leave because Kakarot said he should. He'll fight until everyone's dead here. And at this point, Cabba does step in. He's not going to have another opportunity to catch Vegeta, so that's probably the best option here. Cabba doesn't necessarily just want to kill Vegeta either. Capturing him could be a great help. Plus, killing Vegeta would be kind of tough anyways. Capturing him to get some information about the Frieza Force could be really helpful here. And for all he knows, maybe they can get Vegeta to join their side. That would be the ideal outcome actually. Of course for Goku he knows nothing about this Frieza guy or anyone else, but he's not out to kill Vegeta either. It would be a waste of such a great warrior, and they've already humbled him enough. And now, Goku and Cabba finally fight together. Vegeta can't believe it. He's being beaten by these two Saiyans, one of whom is a low-class warrior and one of whom is a Saiyan. Two lower tiers of Saiyans that shouldn't beat him, the elite prince. The low-class one doesn't even have his tail, which makes Vegeta think back to how his was cut off, which is just truly embarrassing. Vegeta continues fighting, but at some point he is defeated. And as much as he hates to do it, this time he decides to escape. Able to create a diversion and get to his space pod. He gets in his ship and launches off into space. Cabba quickly tries to shoot the ship down, at least to get Vegeta back here on Earth. He's able to charge a powerful blast, aimed right at Vegeta's ship. But right when it's about to hit, two other ships fly in front of him. It's Nappa and Caulifla's pod. They swirl around Vegeta's ship, making it tougher to hit, and basically act as a shield, with Cabba's blast hitting both of them, and Vegeta safely getting out into space. Damn it, they almost had him. He needs to track Vegeta down somehow. The group has no need to go to Namek here, but Cabba wants to keep track of Vegeta, and while he wasn't able to stop Vegeta's ship, he was able to do something during battle that will really help. He was able to slip a small tracker on Vegeta himself, within his armor. This is a good foresight because now he can at least find Vegeta, wherever he's going off to. Goku thanks Cabba for his help, and then Cabba surprisingly asks if they could help him now. He understands that if they don't want to, and he hates to ask or make them feel indebted to him. He knows this doesn't involve them either, but he wants them to help track down Vegeta, and maybe defeat Frieza too. These warriors are so powerful, Goku especially, he's even stronger than Cabba is. He does reiterate, they don't need to join if they don't want to, but he's going to monitor where Vegeta goes, and he will be back soon enough to tell them what's going on, and he lets them think on it, also thanking them for their help here. He says they'll see them soon. He gets in his own ship, but right before he leaves, he senses something strange nearby. Piccolo senses it at the last moment, turning around and then blocking someone's attack. It's that same Saiyan from before. Caulifla, she's still alive. They thought Vegeta killed her. And she looks around at the rest of the group, realizing she's completely outmatched here. And she asks where Vegeta went. Did they defeat him? Well, kinda. But also, he left, and completely left her behind. She then pulls out a remote trying to summon her own spaceship, but it doesn't work. She saw some explosion in the sky at the last minute, but didn't know what it was. Then realizing that Vegeta used her spaceship basically as a distraction. Oh crap. She's completely stuck here, and completely outmatched on top of that. Well, that Nappa guy's dead, and Vegeta's gone, but Cabba could at least arrest her for the lack of patrol. She's ready to fight everyone even though she knows she can't. And then she has something pretty surprising. They're looking to track down Vegeta, right? Well, yeah. And she says she'll help. After that betrayal, she wants Vegeta gone. He killed Nappa. He almost killed her, and then he abandoned her here. She's just not gonna let that slide. Piccolo's kinda suspicious of it, especially after how cunning Raditz tried to be, but it seems she's completely serious. She did watch Vegeta kill one of her comrades after all and almost kill her. So it probably is real. It takes a bit of time for everyone to work everything out, but eventually, a new plan is formulated. Cabba and Caulifla actually stay on Earth for the time being, because Goku suggests that they stay here and train. Using them as training partners could be pretty helpful for Goku, even though Caulifla kinda hates the idea of it. But Cabba's up for it, and since Piccolo wants to keep watch on the other two Saiyans, he joins Goku too in his training, with Gohan and Krillin joining too. Although Krillin doesn't plan to go off planet with them. Cabba's waiting to find out where Vegeta went, and then they'll move to go after him. And as time goes on, a pretty strange team is formed. There's Goku and Gohan, and then there's Piccolo, who really isn't still the greatest guy, but is better than before, but is still worth noting that's basically Goku's nemesis. Then there's Cabba, who's a good guy, but they barely know him. He's a galactic patrolman, and this is actually his job. And then there's Caulifla, who's pretty much still an untrustworthy enemy, but it's an enemy of my enemy situation, and if she does do anything to act up, they can defeat her pretty quickly. She's just going to be very useful for info, and she's another strong warrior that could help. Gravity training is eventually developed on Earth as well, with the group even using this to kill time, and eventually even installing it on a spaceship because Cabba finally found out where Vegeta went. He found the trajectory of Vegeta's ship, and it's going to some Frieza base, but that's not their main target. The most important part is the microphone on the tracker picked up something interesting. Vegeta was mumbling something to himself about Namek, and this could be a good opportunity to capture him in his tracks. They don't know what this planet Namek is, at least until Cabba and Caulifla point out that Piccolo's a Namekian. That's his home world. So why could he possibly want to go there? But Cabba does remember from their fight. Vegeta was after the Dragon Balls here, so what if he's trying to find them somewhere else? Cabba didn't even really know what the Dragon Balls were then, but he does know now what they are. And Caulifla then butts in too. That is exactly why they came here. They did want to recruit Kakarot or kill him, but more importantly, Vegeta wanted the Dragon Balls for himself. Maybe to wish for immortality or something, she wasn't too sure, but she knows he wanted them. So that settles it. Vegeta's target might be Namek. And it looks like he'll be there alone, which is the perfect way to capture him. The rest of the humans in the group don't really want to get involved in this because it's not really their place to go. But Goku, Piccolo, and Gohan are still in on it. Goku likes the idea of having an opportunity to fight Vegeta again, and Gohan wants to go along with him. Piccolo also does want to stop Vegeta, and make sure that other Saiyan Caulifla doesn't pull anything funny. And now he gets to go to his home planet, which could be interesting for him. So the group heads out for planet Namek. And let's discuss some power levels now. Goku's the strongest of the group. He has access to Kaioken, but in his base, he's at 150,000. Cabba's not too far behind. He's at about 120,000. He grew really quickly with gravity training, and having some great training partners around him. But most importantly, his potential as a Saiyan is actually going to really help here. Same goes for Caulifla, who's still behind but is at 60,000, which is way higher than before. Piccolo's also grown stronger, also around 60,000, with Gohan being at 30,000, having a better control in his power, and of course having his own great potential. So now let's go over to Namek itself. Eventually Vegeta does get there, being one of the first to go. But unbeknownst to Cabba's group, he's not going to be the only one there. Vegeta could already tell, some Frieza soldiers are here. Frieza was listening in on him. But something is strange. The Frieza force is fighting somebody. He senses battles going on across the planet. That could just be the Namekians, but no, it doesn't seem like that. Vegeta puts on a scouter, trying to listen in to some of the Frieza force soldiers, and also track some of the fights going on. He is a bit lost because he had to spend some time healing, so he might be a little bit farther behind, but it seems some of the Frieza force is already here, as well as another faction maybe. And then out of nowhere, blasts are launched at him. He's barely able to defend against it, then launching his own attack at some of the soldiers, not even sure who they are, but he can tell exactly by their armor. Those aren't Frieza Force soldiers. Those are soldiers from the Frost Corps. He's quickly able to figure out what happened. Frieza was spying on him, but Frieza also might have had spies in his own army. The Frieza Force is here for the Dragon Balls, but the Frost Corps is as well. And Vegeta's right in the middle of it. And little does he know, another group's coming right for him too. That Galactic Patrolman and those Earthlings. And one of his former allies who's still alive unbeknownst to him. Vegeta might have bit off more than he could chew. It's not just that, but it's also the fact that Namek is stronger than normal, having more people. As I discussed before in the first part, Namek is actually a combination of the two Nameks from both universes. It still is Universe 7's Namek as the planet itself, but there's more inhabitants, and even though a majority of the population was wiped out a while back, there were more to begin with. They had stronger civilizations, they were more resilient, and there's more Namekians to this day, and stronger Namekians at that too. At the same time, a Namekian resistance is going on. Vegeta is in the middle of a battle between three factions, the Namekians, the Frieza Force, and the Frost Corps. He didn't realize this planet was so powerful either. It has so many of its own warriors. And it seems the Namekians are actually the strongest faction here. Plus, it does help that they are on their home turf. So Vegeta tries to make haste, trying to at least get some Dragon Balls for himself. And not too long after, another group arrives. Thanks to Cabba, they already had the tech and the directions to get here. The Galactic Patrol had some great resources for space travel. And Bulma was able to help too, which is how they got some gravity training done on their ships. Plus, they're able to turn their ships into capsules. But that's besides the point now. They're just glad that they got here, and before they landed, they knew something bad was going down. Cabba got his own intel from the patrol, with King Kai also butting in and telling Goku the same thing. Namek is under attack, and it's not necessarily going to be a welcoming place. And as they put their ship away in a capsule, Goku feels something. A familiar presence is coming towards them. They must have already been spotted when they landed here, even though they found some place that was kind of far away from everybody. But the fact that the energy is familiar, they wonder who it is. The power vanishes, and then suddenly reappears, as Vegeta then jumps out at them. He charges an attack aimed right at them, thinking it's another group of Frieza Force soldiers. But as he flings his arm back to charge the attack, he comes to the shocking realization that it's those same people that he just fought before on Earth. And what's more, Caulifla's in that group. Immediately at the sight of him, she's completely pissed off, jumping up in the air to fight Vegeta. But Kappa yells out trying to get them to stop. They need to keep their powers low. It's already too late though because she's able to land a good hit on him, flipping him and then throwing him down to the ground right in front of everybody. She gets ready to kill him right then and there, but Goku and Kappa then try to defuse the situation. But wait, aren't they supposed to be here to catch Vegeta? This is what they should be doing. Well, not exactly. When they got word from the Galactic Patrol and King Kai that Namek was under attack, they kinda had to change plans. They were already really close to the planet when they heard about that, and they did consider turning around and going back to Earth, but instead decided to fight here. As much as Kappa did want to capture Vegeta, it's like he said before, he'd rather have Vegeta work with them. Maybe he could help against the Frieza Force. And as a patrolman, this is exactly what he wants to do. He told everyone they could turn around if they wanted, and no one opposed to going along with Kappa. They decided to join in on this fight. It's a good test of their strength, and they have their own personal reasons. Caulifla still wanted to go and kill Vegeta, Goku wanted to fight Vegeta, and Piccolo also wanted to kill Vegeta, but more importantly, he did like the idea of going to his home planet, and he thinks it's fated that he comes here to defend it. They successfully defuse the situation, and Vegeta says they're better off leaving. He was thinking of doing the same thing. He wants to get the Dragon Balls as quick as possible, but he knows it's not going to work. And he doesn't want to fight them as well. He doesn't want them meddling in his plans. But he can already tell by Caulifla alone, he can't win here. The others must be stronger as well. He didn't even realize she was still alive. But he does have one idea. They could all work together. Don't they all want to stop Frieza? And for that matter, Kappa, that Galactic Patrolman, shouldn't he want to stop Frost as well? Well, this is good, because that's exactly what they were thinking. They need to work together. It doesn't seem like either Frost or Frieza is here, which is good because from what Kappa knows, they're incredibly strong, and that could make things a little bit more complicated. Things are already complicated, but they at least have a chance to make things more simple. Although Vegeta doesn't really plan to work with them. This is a strategy for him to not have to fight them right now. He'll use them as a means to an end, use them to find the Dragon Balls, and have some allies against Frieza. They could act as a great distraction, and he can slip away when he needs to, getting the Dragon Balls and getting his wish. Or simply just stealing the Dragon Balls from them if that happens. Kappa's plan is to get the Dragon Balls before Frieza can. They should be able to. Goku was able to bring a Dragon Radar just in case. And then Vegeta picks up on something weirder. There's another person there that he didn't even realize was there until now. She's hiding behind a rock nearby, and then Goku tells her she can come out. It's Bulma. She decided she wanted to come along too, and Goku says she can help them track down the Dragon Balls. They originally were going to use this as a way to find Vegeta in case he learned to suppress his power somehow, because if he did get a Dragon Ball, this would be a very easy way to track him. And she says it's good that they have it here because now they can get the Dragon Balls for themselves. And Vegeta can't believe it. Being reduced to this, working with these fools, he can't even get the wish he wanted. But at least he could kind of stick it to Frieza, so that's kind of nice. But he is still concerned. If Frieza himself shows up, or if Frost shows up, they're going to be screwed. They don't even really know that much about Frost either. Even less than they know about Frieza, and they don't know much about Frieza to begin with. Things aren't really looking that good. The group makes haste as they go around getting the Dragon Balls. Thankfully, they are able to defend some of the Namekian villages too. Granted, Vegeta and Caulifla aren't really doing much with that, but the others are all doing it. Frieza didn't really realize what he walked into either. It looks like there's more people here than he expected. His army just went to get the Dragon Balls, not knowing that Frost would be there, which infuriates him. Somehow this info leaked from his army. And not just that, but the Namekians are stronger than they all thought. Frieza himself is about to step in, but he has a better plan. He is present on the planet, and he just needs some assistance, and it's a good thing that he called for it already. This will be sure to wipe out Frost's army, as well as the Namekians. One Dragon Ball is in the hands of Frost's army, one is in the hands of Frieza's army, two are still in some of the other villages, and three of them, they're in the hands of Kappa's group. They're making pretty quick pace. The Dragon Radar helps a lot, and the Namekians do willingly give the Dragon Balls to them after they find out who it is. Especially with Piccolo being in their crew, it's a little bit easier for them to trust that group. Besides him being a Namekian, they could just tell by his presence that he's one of them. His ki reveals it all. But the group senses 5 powers approaching Namek, with Kappa, Vegeta, and Caulifla realizing it's the Ginyu Force. And they become the Ginyu Force first target because they see a bunch of Dragon Balls all together. But it shouldn't be too hard to stop the Ginyu Force. Kappa actually has a lot of info on them, and knows some of their abilities too. Ginyu and Goldo are the most dangerous, but first they should aim at defeating Ginyu. He doesn't even have time to do a body swap, because Goku and Piccolo attack him together, defeating the captain. They take on Raccoon, Jason, Birder, and it's pretty easy, since there's so many of them, and the group does collectively overpower them too. And Goldo's barely able to escape. He's going to try and use his time-stopping abilities to try and at least get the Dragon Balls for himself. That could really help here. He doesn't even use this to attack. He used this to try and escape. He'll do this to avenge his whole crew. He'll get the Dragon Balls and make Frieza proud, and maybe he could wish for the Ginyu Force back. That would be great. He freezes time, going to take the Dragon Balls from them, and he's just about to run out of breath. But as he does, he hears someone talking to him. Wait, that makes no sense. Time's frozen. Who's talking to him? An ominous voice is behind him, saying he's surprised that Goldo can stop time too. Goldo then clutches his chest, exhaling all the air he had, with time then resuming once more. He falls to the ground, and his last sight is a towering purple man standing there. Kappa's group is left confused because their Dragon Balls are gone. 2 of them are missing, and they still have 1. and they don't know where that Goldo guy went, but then they sense that ominous power near them too, and Cabba turns pale when he sees who's there. The Frieza Force wasn't the only one who called in reinforcements. It looks like the Frost Corps did too. This is Frost's highest level assassin. The Galactic Patrol knows all about him. He can manipulate time just like Goldo. And while it doesn't just freeze time by stopping his breath, this guy's actually more powerful and has better time stopping abilities, even if the time stopping isn't as lengthy. This is the assassin, Hit, and he says he'll ask them politely once. He wants to take that last Dragon Ball from them, and this is where we'll leave off for now. What'd you guys think about this part? What's gonna happen next time? Leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys think. As usual, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps out the channel and shows me you want to see more like this. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.